Welcome back, guys. I know that in the previous video I said that it'll be the last on the topic of variables, but we are back today to actually put variables in a real program so that we can understand a real use case for variables. We will be using this little program called Fill in the Gaps. What we will do is basically provide some good amount of text, and then in that text or paragraph we will leave some gaps, and then we'll have to fill in the information to make the the whole paragraph complete and meaningful. In that context, variables will help us make it very easy to modify the text so that we're not doing the same thing repeatedly, and that is gonna help improve efficiency for the developer. So without any further ado, let's just get into it and see how it goes. Welcome back, guys. So here we are in the NetBeans IDE. I know I zoomed in so that we don't have to worry about all the environment stuff on NetBeans IDE, and then also that way we can see the text better. So I have a paragraph here which I have entitled Eric and His Age. So just so you know, we have this repeated down here because this area down here is the output of the program. So when we run the program, that's what we get as the output. So up here, that's the code itself. That's where we're going to modify stuff, and then when we run it, we should expect to see what we expect to see in the console, which is down here as the output. So I am going to change the paragraph so that I fill in the information, so we have something that makes a lot of sense. And then after I do that, we are going to see how variables help us make programming easy in a use case such as this one. So after filling in the gaps, we have something that reads like, there was a young man called Eric. He liked being called Eric, but his friends called him Erico. I mean, I'm not going to read the whole thing because you can read it by yourself. So now when we run it, we should get the same output down here. Now think about it. What could be the problem with this particular paragraph? You see that we have repeated Eric so many times, and also we've done that for the age 27 so many times. So if, for example, we wanted to talk about some different person called maybe Steve, and then Steve was maybe 22 years old. What that meant is that we have to go through everything and then change the name to Steve, and then also the age to 24. So that for this particular paragraph, it wouldn't be so much to do because we have just so much text. But what about if you have a huge program that has so much repetition of the same text that you have to put in the program, that you have to edit to change in the program? That becomes very tedious to do. So this is where variables come in. With variables, what we do is that we put in a placeholder variable names in the text. So that way the actual paragraph can remain the same, and if we needed to change the character and his age, we just go back to where we declared the variables, and then change the values. So That way, anytime we have to come back and change stuff, we don't have to do it through the entire paragraph. But then we go back to where we declared the variables and then change the values. So I'll demonstrate that in a bit, but for now, let me reformat the code so that it looks suitable for that. So what I've done now is that I've declared two variables. The first one being of type string, and then the variable name being person name, and then the value I've assigned to that is Eric. Down here I have another variable of type int, and its name being person age, and then I've assigned a value of 27. So in the paragraph here, you'll notice that wherever I needed to put Eric, I put person name, and then wherever I needed to put his age, I put person age. So now when I run it, you see that we still get the same output, despite the fact that we have something that reads like, there was a young man called person name, he liked being called person name, blah blah blah. So before I proceed, I'd like to talk a little bit about the syntax we have here. Whenever you wanted to, or you have to insert a variable in a string, you have to do what's called the string concatenation. What that means is that you have to just include a plus sign. I mean, first of all, you have to break out of the string by closing it off, and then you put in, you add a plus sign, and then the variable name. This might not be familiar to you now, but for now, just know that we have to step outside of the string to be able to put the variable name. That way, the compiler can recognize this as not just any text in the main string, but something that has been declared outside of the string. So you just So the benefits of having this structure here is that we are able to use the power of variables to make the program much easier to modify. So if now we don't want to talk about Eric, we want to talk about Steve, all we have to do is that we come up here where the variables were declared, and then we just do something like string person name equals Steve. And then if Steve is not 27 and he's 24, we just come up here and modify that to 24. Now when we run the code, you realize that we have there was a young man called Steve, he liked being called Steve, blah blah blah. So with this leveraging of the power of variables, we, as I've said, changed the values just in one place, and then it kind of affected the entire paragraph. If that wasn't the case, then in order to switch from Eric to Steve, then that would have meant that we will come back in the paragraph, and wherever we had Eric, we put Steve there, and wherever we had Eric's age, we have to change that to Steve's age. So that is just to demonstrate how variables can help us make our lives as programmers easy. So this does it for us on the video about variables. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.